Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Join me on today's video where I'll be doing a video on the best value brands or the best watches to look out for this Black Friday sale. Now, it's not been long since the 11/11 sale, of course, as you guys know, but in case anybody missed out and didn't want to purchase anything, I'll be pointing you to, rather than individual watches, because those videos can get quite lengthy, I'll point you to brands to look out for. That way you can explore the page and just, choose a watch that you like. With regards to any savings on the Black Friday sale, as with most sales, right, there is a bit of trickery in there. Some of them haven't really got a sale on. Some prices haven't really moved. A couple have got maybe $1 or $2, $3, $5 worth of difference. But there are still some watches out there with a decent saving on there. So I'll point you to the brands. You guys can do what you do best, is select whichever one you want to buy. What I have in front of me is some new watches that have been sent out to me. I do have the Seestern version 2 Doxa Homage. I've got also Heimdallr's titanium edition. So they have released a few models that they have recently, and they've got them in this funky colors with some titanium cases, etc. So that'll be good just to quickly look at while I'll take you through Aliexpress. And I'll also link some videos on the top right hand corner that I did for the 11/11 sale. I did a video which one's best, basically going through what's the best MM300 Homage, what's the best Turtle Homage, what's the best Sumo Homage, etc. And yeah, we'll just take it from there. So before we shoot off to Aliexpress, let's have a look at some of the live watches that we have here. I do have the Seestern version 2 here. A lot of people are waiting for this. I don't know if anyone's received it, but this is a version 2. It's a black dial, as you can see. Main difference is there is a lume pip now, and the bezel is thinner. So you can see it's not as high anymore, which gives you an overall thickness of 13 millimeters. Let's give a quick check to the bezel. Still sounds and feels great. Anything is just slightly more audible. The previous bezel was a lot smoother. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the description, of course. So from Heimdallr, what do they have? They do have a new Tuna Homage series. It's called the Shark Titanium. And this is like the Seiko Street Series Tuna Homage. As you can see, the dial markers are very different. You've got textured dials, you've got some really nice detailing, and 100% titanium, grade 3 or 4, I can't remember which one. I don't know what that difference in grades is anyway. Aluminium bezel, double dome sapphire. Let's check the bezel out, because on titanium watches, the bezels are a bit, iffy. So this one seems okay for the most part. That's okay. Very lightweight, of course. It's going to be titanium. I will be doing a full review on this watch shortly anyway. And they've also got a turtle, so let's check that out. Good bezel, much better in terms of consistency. Really nice dial, great color scheme, aluminium bezel insert, and yeah, and they're giving you these tropical straps as well. They've also got some new buckles that I can see. Really well machined. So yeah, these are a couple of watches that you can check out. Of course, I'll be reviewing these pieces in due course. Now let's head over to Aliexpress and let's see what they've got to offer. Okay, let's start off with some Steeldive. First one, I've just seen it. I think this is a new release, 36mm quartz movement watch with sapphire crystal, of course. And it's a pilot watch. And you know what, I gotta say, I do really like that dial design. Decent lume, going by their pictures anyway. 200 meters of water resistance. Brushed case, and I love the handset they've used on it. Great proportions, as you can tell, slightly cathedralized, and I love the numerals on there as well. I think that's a really nice looking watch, and you get it on a leather strap, choice of colors, and I think that looks quite good actually. Something different from Steeldive, so that's one to definitely consider if you guys are interested. And okay, here's another brand new release. I did say I was going to do brands, but I'm literally just finding these new watches from Steeldive. So this is a SD1972. It's a homage to the Seiko Turtle. And I gotta say, initially looking at this picture, it looks great on picture. You've got a date magnification glass. Let's have a look at some of the other pictures. You do have a turtle style bezel. You've got drill lugs, and the case in pictures at least looks quite good. Good price as well. Let's check that out. Polished case. And they were missing a turtle. They've not really homaged a turtle, so I suppose better late than never. And I think the ceramic bezel insert, dial color, it looks quite good. So that's definitely worth considering. Now back to Steeldive for a legendary watch. So this is the SD1970. Now what's different about this one? This is the SD1970T. What does that mean? They've actually released the very popular Captain Willard Homage watch with a PT5000 movement now. So you do have a high beat movement option. As we know, the PT5000 is becoming very popular. In fact, we're seeing a lot more automatic movements being used because of the delays caused by the Malaysia factory, which provides the NH35 movements. So you can just have a look at this one. You do have a PT5000 option. Now the fact is, I've shown you guys about 3 different Steeldives, so I'd definitely check out Steeldive. They do have a lot of new models. I think they've ramped up production, so they definitely want to look out for. Now Steeldive, you know, they do have consistency issues in terms of bezel rotations, a few little QC issues, but please bear that in mind. But saying that, considering the price bracket they fall under, I'll say they're a very good value for money brand. Now you can't have a Aliexpress video without mentioning San Martin, of course. Now the interesting thing this time around with San Martin, I think they seem to have been listening to us all. We've been talking about the really high prices. They have now released some really good budget options. Now most of them are military, field or pilot watch orientated, so it's good they've gone away from the dive watch scene. So you're looking at the first one, you know, 39mm, very basic and simple pilot style watches. You've got this one here that you can see. Pricing is really good, and they've got sun ray dials as well. And the main thing with this is that, you know, they are listening to what we're saying. They have reduced the prices, or they've made cheaper models. But with San Martin being who they are, you still have quite a lot of quality assurance, and of course the finishing still will be above the majority of brands out there in the same price bracket. So I think this is a great move by San Martin, and I hope they can keep bringing us great new models that are, you know, under this price category, and it start bringing it back down to more affordable sort of pricing. Going further down, you've got another 38mm pilot watch, this time with a Swiss Quartz movement, and you know, again, it looks like the Dirty Dozen Homage, so I think that's quite good. Again, great pricing. The third one down, just to have a look at this, a sub style case, a few different dial options. Let's go in a bit closer on this one. Very colorful watch, silicone strap, and let's have a quick look at what else they have. Some really vibrant color options. Yes, of course, these are renderings, but with San Martin, you know, they are going to be quite close to, you know, what they show us. So if I scroll further down on this one in particular, as I'm interested in seeing a few different colors, bear in mind the movement on this is the Miyota 8215, so that's very interesting that they've kind of gone away from the YN55 even. But is that what it takes to make a really affordable watch from San Martin? We'll have to wait and see. So going down, some really nice dial options. Dials look quite a bit better than they have done previously. Applied hour markers, etc. Nice vibrant colors, great detailing. And the movement, for the most part, as I've said, Miyotas are really reliable. I think I just prefer NH35s. I don't think they hack, but you still have the hand winding function. So another one from San Martin, a 37mm, another 8215 Miyota movement. Pilot watch in leather and stainless steel, so all under £100. So I think that's quite good. Again, going back to the pricing, they've got some really affordable options, and you do have some other newer watches, some, let's call them original style watches from San Martin. So it's worth considering them as a brand. I won't go into every single detail. Again, it's worth checking out. A good indicator is just look at how many watches have been bought against how many reviews. So if you're just wondering, you know, which one's good, because there's not a lot of reviews on these new releases, of course. So before you make that decision, make sure you check it out. You also have a, I believe this is a homage to a Tudor chronograph. Of course, you can see the bezel insert looks like the Daytona, but you've got Tudor S style hands. You've got the ST1901 movement, which is a column wheel movement. So we've seen that in the likes of Sugues watches. So we know the movement's reliable, but you know, this is a sort of higher price watch. But you know, you will have finishing that reflects this, but ultimately it's up to you to decide if it's worth the price. 160 plus orders, 5-star rating. That pretty much sums it all up. There is another one here that you can see, and I did mention this in the 11/11 sale. You've got around 30 orders, a rating of 4.5. You've got a tapered engineer style bracelet, a fully lumed dial, I love the contrast on this watch, and it's a 38mm Pilot watch. Now, you guys know I'll mostly concentrate on dive watches, so it's good to see some of the brands that I do review are coming out with field and pilot or military style watches, which will give a bit more variety to this channel, hopefully. And this has the Epson YN55 movement, which is pretty much the same as the NS35. Now, the next brand I want to take you to is Cadisen. Definitely, when I did my affordable watches video, I found there was a lot of watches that I picked from Cadisen. They also have quite a bit of variety. There's a lot of dressy options, a lot of sporty options. As you can see, you've got the one on your right, which is, I believe, it's a Longines Homage. But as you can see, very good value for money. More or less a rating of 4.9 across 160 plus orders. You do have a Miyota movement. And now you can't knock these watches from Miyota movement because, again, San Martin are giving Miyota movements, and you've got Cadison coming out with it. It's still cheaper, so it's brought down that gap slightly. But yeah, that's definitely worth considering. Now, as I said, with Cadison, they do have quite a few dressier designs. So if dive watches aren't your thing, you like the sleeker looking watches, the nicer looking options, you do have a lot of variety to choose from. So, and one of my personal favorites is this Cadison here with this Galaxy series. I do like some of the finer details on here. I really do like that dial as well, so that's another great option. And Cadison has always been pretty decent value for money. All the Cadisons that I have reviewed, nothing has been scarily bad. Everything has been okay, with you know, slight room for improvement. But at this price bracket, of course, you expect that. Stop, hold it right there. I've literally just discovered this. Have a look at this brand. Of course, we've heard of Thorn before. I have recommended a few of their watches. I've reviewed a few of their watches, but look what they've just come out with. They've got a Doxa Homage, which looks very different to everything else that we've seen so far. You can see a bubble or a top hat style crystal, a crazy looking dial, very different hands. You can see the Doxa style bezel, very similar case shape, really nice and vibrant colors. And look at the case, very, very different. I'm definitely gonna have to get one of these in to see what that's like. Prices are very reasonable as well. NH35 movement, 44mm case. Wow, I've only just literally discovered it right now. It's a model SHY020, 44mm case, 12.5mm case thickness. I don't think that's included in glass, guys. Otherwise that'd be really thin, because the glass looks like a box crystal, as I said, with waffle straps. So that's just crazy how I just come across it right now. But there are other models to look at from Thorn. As you can see, they do have a very similar color scheme now. They're doing your basic, I think, 4 to 6 different colors, carbon style dials, your, you know, these Tiffany blues, those yellows. And one thing I did bring your attention to in the 1111 video was these MM300/MM200 style cases. Basically the thinner Marine Master style cases. You've got these mother of pearl dials, stainless steel bezel inserts, and for the most part they look really, really good. And my only issue that I have had with Thorn has been their bezel rotation isn't the best. They haven't got it quite right, but the build quality is really good. I looked at the GMT MM300 style Homage. I absolutely loved that, but again, it was just the bezel and the inconsistency in the functionality of the watch. Everything else was okay, so they definitely want to consider. Now, seeing this new Doxa style sub has literally just taken me back, so I definitely point this out to you guys. Check it out. You know, I'm not saying buy it, of course, I need to see it myself, but some of these other dive watches, I love the colors. I think I'll be going for a teal one, or a Tiffany blue. Should check that out. So that's definitely another one to consider. And I suppose that's it, really. There's nothing else to show. You know, like I said, I will link previous videos. There's a hell of a lot of suggestions on there. Now, I understand most of you guys did purchase on the 1111 sale, but if anybody left trading behind or you see something new, then please take a look at the links that will be in the description. Of course, it'll be around all the watches I've showed you today. And if you make a purchase, remember to use those links. It's always appreciated. And of course, I'll be making a few orders just to get some of these great watches that I've shown you guys, just to give them a full review. And of course, the watches that I showed you earlier, the Heimdallr Titanium and the version 2 Seestern, I'll definitely be doing the review for that in the upcoming weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next review. Thank you everyone for watching.